Good morning. The ladders are on. And how did we get to this place? Let's watch the rollback. Okay, let's see if we can do one of these little ladders this evening. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my sanding stick just to level it up. That way this surface here will be horizontal, more or less. Less chance for the ladder to go sliding off it. Okay, this is medium. However, it's you might say sort of thickening up a little bit. So, all right, now should we do a dry run here? Just see how it's going to go. Now the idea is I'm going to put a little bit of CA right where I think those are going to go. And then we'll drop it right down in there, and hopefully it's not going to fall off this way or this way and have the ladder itself, like the rungs, or not the rungs, but the stringers attaching. I just want just the if this works out, I'll do it again. I'll use the macro lens. Mainly because I forgot to put it on here. No, we don't need too much, do we? Okay. Now, very, very gently here. Very gently. Now, it appears that I'm going to try and move it just a little bit up. That looks pretty straight this way. Okay, let's let that cure. I wonder if I should use the curing agent. Or maybe this is not a good idea. As I mentioned, I will do this again with the macro lens, and we'll be able to see it a lot better. Now, offhand, that ladder probably would stay there if I was to take and turn this thing 90 degrees. But we'll give it a little bit of time here, so I'm going to just push stop for a while. Okay, I've moved in on our ladder here, and I think the curing agent is dried. And I was going to bump up against it and see how strong it is, but you know, it looks like it's just barely tucked onto the side there. So I'm going to just use something gentle. Okay. Now, if it was, oh, it's not quite tight. It's not quite tight. Okay. I'm just going to reinforce this here. And I know from your perspective, it looks like I'm overdoing it. Maybe I put a little bit more on that side than I needed. Okay, I think that the ends of the ladder where they're touching the side of the turret are a little bit more buried in CA. Okay, let's just leave that. Now that turret that we just did, that was one of the ones that had the bevel. And this is the other one. So if you remember the first one, the barrels were pointed towards you. Now they're pointed away from you, and we're doing the other side. And I did not use the curing agent on the other one. I'm just trying to pick up the ladder here, and it's not cooperating. As I have said so many times, it's a good thing I can cut out the dead spots. It took me almost 2 minutes. Okay. Whoa. No, that is not right. Okay, it is just barely on there. If I could move it up just a tiny bit without knocking it off the top. No, I think I got it too high. Well, let's just leave it like that. And then we'll reinforce it. There, I think that's better. Okay, where's my curing agent? Okay, once again, we've had a little bit of time pass here, like about 5 minutes. All right, I think we're safe to try and reinforce this. Okay, I'm not going to use the curing agent on the second application. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to put the 4 remaining ladders on, and we'll take a look later. Now our CA glue has not cured yet. I'm going to leave that for overnight. And the last 2. I think that'll be okay once it's painted. Okay, so I'm wondering, our friend Carlo here, what color did he paint the life rafts? Because we're at that point right now. So in 1942, when I believe that this is depicted as, now I know I'm not going to do the camo thing, but I might as well try and get the life rafts right? And I was getting all ready to look for my yellow paint. But if we find these turrets, there's no life rafts on them at all. And when we find where he does have the life rafts, they're painted the exact same gray as the superstructure, or as the turrets. These are the main turrets. And well, that makes sense, you know, because then they wouldn't show up, right? Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to take and glue them on, and we'll paint them the same color gray as what we're going to do everything else. What was it? It wasn't the 66, it was something else we bought. And I think it's a little darker than the 66. Somebody said they thought I wouldn't like it, and I might not. I don't know yet. But, you know, whatever, it's going to be what it's going to be. At least it'll be different from the, you know, from the Bismarck and the Hood, which are both painted the 22. And I will be using, by the way, I will be using the regular hull red. What is it here? XF9. Even though that might not be right. It looks good. Okay, so I know now that I don't have to worry about painting the life rafts yellow. But we will do something with the inside here. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do there. Probably some kind of... I was thinking that panel line color might look good. The brown panel line color, yeah, that'd probably look good. It's kind of brown. Anyway, I think that's it for this evening, folks. It's after 8 o'clock. Time for this old man to go to bed. Well, not quite yet. I'm going to edit out this. Yeah, and I'm going to check my comments and see if anybody's still talking to me. Okay. Okay. We'll see you in the morning. Okay, it is morning, and we have concluded that our life rafts are going to be gray. The same gray as everything else. Well, almost everything else. Now, what was it, the number 24s here that had the bevel on the back, they get two life rafts, one on top of each other. And that means that we have to take the pins off of a couple so that they'll fit better, at least according to the manual, that's what it says. That's okay, I'll get it later. Anyway, let's do that. Let's get our life rafts mounted on the tops of the turrets here. I can't think of what we can do next. And once that's done, step 6 is done. Okay, cut, remove. Now, a moment ago, I just tried these, and it seems that they fit on top, like this will fit on top of this one, just fine without removing these, but let's do like they say. No, they don't have to be, you know, filed down or anything. We just want to shorten them so that there's no danger that they're being held. I don't think they are. Okay, let's get those squared up, and I think I'll probably just use extra thin. Okay. Now, is this possibly a job for the self-locking tweezers? That looks pretty good. You know what? Let's use the quick setting. Okay, I'll just move in a little bit so we can see it wick along. You know, the problem is the way the self-locking tweezer, it's parallel when it's closed, but they're not parallel when it's partly open like this. And so in other words, this side is being pressed together, whereas this other side is not. Although I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference. Yeah, don't worry about it, Ron. No big deal. Okay, that should meld. I'm guessing in about 10 minutes. It should be fairly secure. I guess about an hour has passed here now, and my coffee's almost gone. Kind of funny. Some mornings I'll take a few sips, and by the end of the day, it's maybe only down just a little bit. This morning I'm kind of thirsty. Coffee tastes extra good. Okay, I'm quite sure that this is not going to fall apart. Now we want to make sure that we get it on the turrets that have the bevel, like this one right here. And this one right here. So we'll put our double life rafted setups on the, I guess I could use my fingers. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm hoping that I don't have to drill out those holes. I don't like to force anything together if I don't have to. Anyway, let's just recompose here and move in. Oh yeah, those are going to fit in there just fine. Oh, these ones, they kind of smudged over, you might say. I guess in the meld process, because I don't think I had them like that when I originally put the tweezers on them. There we go. Now I'm wondering if the best way is to just let the extra thin just sort of wick its way underneath there. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'll just let it. I'm going to use the just the regular extra thin this time. I'm pretty sure that's going to flow down. Whoops. I wonder, maybe I should be... Well, I can see it on there. Okay, let's just let that dry out now. I'm going to do the other one much the same way. Yep, I should have made just a little bit more this morning. Now, I am probably not going to be wanting to paint today anyway. So why don't I just use a different type of glue here? I think I'll use this for the remaining 4. And I'm just going to hurry up and get it done. Gotta be careful I don't squeeze the sides and bend the ladder. Now I'm pretty sure that once we paint this, as I mentioned before, all that excess CA glue that I used to make sure the ladders stayed on is not going to really show. And this completes step 6. I can't see anything else that we were supposed to do. Well, let's flip the page and see if there's anything else we can do before we have to paint. Or should I be maybe, being as that I have so many little pieces that are on rotating blocks, well, let's flip the page. I did look the other day, and I kind of know, but I'm not sure. Oh, I think it's, well, let's flip the page. Okay, here we go. Step 7. And the entire step is making this crane. And it looks like it's almost all plastic except for a photo etch ladder and some sort of a little railing that goes around right here. So it should go fairly well, I hope. But you know, it's a pretty big item. It's not the sort of thing that has to go on a rotating block anyway. Although I might put it on a rotating block just for ease of handling. But it's not. It's way too big to rotate and spray. These are actually too large to rotate and spray. I found that when I have the rotator constantly turning under its own power, and the really small stuff, that works great. But anything large like this, if you can call this large, it just doesn't seem to work too well. So I'll probably just sort of, you know, leave it stationary, spray, and then turn it a little bit and spray some more. And now the barrels on these, so let me get one down here. Okay, the barrels I think I might do in a different shade of gray, maybe a more, I don't know, either darker or lighter than what we're going to be painting the shell. I keep calling this part the shell. Oh, one of the viewers mentioned he was big into making army tanks, and he was mentioning that the tank, the periscope, does not look around. It's always pointed straight ahead. Yeah. Now I would think on something big and slow turning like this, you'd want to be able to quickly swing your periscope around, but maybe not. A tank is a little different. It's a little bit more agile than something like this. I don't think that this thing swung very quickly. yeah, it wouldn't be like you could use it to look around. But anyway, I guess they knew what they're doing, obviously. So, all right, what am I going to do here? Are we going to go on to step 7 today, or are we going to, you know what, I think I'm going to call this episode a wrap. And, yeah, I'm going to call it a wrap here for today. And probably tomorrow, all being well, we'll get at the painting. I don't know why I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm not. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.